Yes, people. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. We are live after Manchester City drop massive points in the title race against relegation-threatened West Ham. Pep Guardiola got some questions to ask his players and his team after he's sitting in the stands, not being able to talk to his team members directly during the game. West Ham doing their London neighbours, their London rivals, a favour in the title race. And Arsenal fans, we're going to Man City, but I think you can start to believe. I think the belief can start to kick in now. This result is massive for you guys. And then also, we've got to remember, Spurs. Mm-hmm. Listen, this result is massive for you too, because you might actually get relegated. It's a mad game. Man City failing to take the 3 points. I am here, joined by the wonderful Terry, the biggest Arsenal fan on YouTube. And he's here to rep his team. Hope everyone is doing well in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. But Terry, let's talk about what you want to talk about first. We've got Man City, we've got Pep, and then we also got Arsenal's title hopes.
I want to start with Man City, all right. And the reason I want to start with Manchester City is because the reason I want to start with them is because if this was Man United, if this was Liverpool, if this was Chelsea, if this was Arsenal, the conversation would be what I'm about to speak on. This is 4 points dropped from winning positions in back-to-back games against relegation candidates. It's awful. Led in both games, the better team in both games in terms of the play, but you can see the pressure of this league title race has got to them. They probably should have scored 2 or 3 goals in the second half. But Haaland is snatching at chances, missing good one-on-one opportunities. Gahey at the end. There's a headed opportunity for O'Reilly for him to knock it in. And by the way, who says scoring from set pieces were easy? Because they probably should have scored from 2 or 3 tonight. But the pressure and the lack of quality, and when I say lack of quality, I'm talking we're nitpicking amongst the best of the best in league title races, nowhere near good enough. And I want to sort of call out a little bit tonight, as I'm not hosting and I get to just be a panelist to a degree. I want to call out the Wolfies of this world, the Dons of this world, the Staffies of this world, who acted like they couldn't see this coming and consistently challenged my football knowledge. And I'm often not precious about it, but I want to speak on it because it wasn't about overhyping Arsenal. It was only ever about reviewing City. And the idea that City were going to go on this 10, 15 game winning run, I found it to be a delusional take because when you watch them play, they leak too many chances, they concede too many goals, and they are not the same formidable force that have done what they've done in the past. And the only reason I can put it down to is these guys don't watch City. I watch every City game. I think I watch City as much as any City fan around the world. And I could see this coming a million miles away. So for me being called delusional and crazy and an Arsenal lover, not for predicting Arsenal running away with the league. I've never said that. I said a marginal race. I didn't think we'd be at a 10-point gap at this stage, to be fair. So I'm wrong in that regard. But I'm not surprised to see what we're seeing. Pep losing it, cracking in press conferences. You can see that the fans have been doing up conspiracy theories and tinfoil hats for a week. The players have been calling the PGMOL corrupt. All of that has been leading to this bottle job, to this collapse. Wasn't good enough tonight. Wasn't good enough at all, I felt, from City. Listen, they missed a couple of decent chances, but I want to throw you a few stats here. 1 big chance created in the whole game. 24 shots, yes, but only 1 big chance created, KJ, in the entirety of the game. 24 shots accumulated, 2.06 XG. West Ham, by the way, 1 shot in the game, 1 shot on target, 1 big chance, and they drew the game 1-1. But that 1 chance they had gave them a 0.5 XG. So even from all the corners, the 15 corners to 1 that City had, they weren't creating the opportunities. The deliveries weren't good enough. The finishes weren't good enough. And yes, there's a lack in quality when it comes to Arsenal. I think Arsenal are marginally better than them in quality, but they are much better than West Ham. But there's something's broken in them mentally. And I felt that when they beat Liverpool, KJ, there was this narrative being pushed that, that makes them the favourites now. I was always the other end of that. When Bernardo Silva comes out and said, if we'd have lost today, it was over. You can't be that close to the precipice and still be comfortable. You can't be one defeat away from throwing in the towel and then suddenly turn it all around. I still think you're too far gone. You're too far down that slippery slope. So look, I'm glad to see it from a Man United perspective. I don't want Pep and I don't want City winning more league titles. Not at all. But 2 games back to back against relegation teams, and they have thrown it away. They haven't held on to leads. Bottle jobs. If anyone wants to talk about bottle jobs, let's talk about Man City. Let's see if the media have the same energy. I doubt they will. But yeah, really poor showing from them tonight. Well done to West Ham. I thought West Ham, they were so... Mavropanos defensively today. Todibo today defensively. Hermanson with some great saves. To a man, they were brilliant, and I thought they deserved it. They're out the relegation zone. Nottingham Forest drop into it, but Spurs now have... Now, there's a big chance Spurs finish the weekend in the relegation zone. They really, really do. But Arsenal's win also led to this. My prediction Friday afternoon was, if Arsenal beat Everton, this game's a draw. It's exactly what happened. Could just see it coming a million miles away. Felt pretty obvious. But what a day for Arsenal fans. What a day for Man United fans. Not just with Chelsea dropping points, but also one of our biggest rivals in City failing. Brilliant day for West Ham fans. And yeah, absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where this season, there's a super chat about the quality of the season. We'll get into it later. But this season, I haven't seen such an exciting relegation race in a long time, because the 3 teams up for it, you can all say, actually, they don't need to be in the championship. They're not a championship team. I think West Ham, Nottingham Forest, and Spurs are all Premier League teams, but they're there scrapping it down at the bottom. The biggest thing for me, Terry, is when I was watching the game and I was just shaking my head, is the lack of quality I saw from those Manchester City players today, especially the likes of Rodri, who has been dubbed the best midfielder in the world. He won a Ballon d'Or. He was seen as the heart and the engine of Man City. If Rodri's there, they just win. That was the narrative that has been said about Rodri. And today, he was just poor, just the poor passing, making the wrong decisions. And I'm there sitting like, again, if this was a Declan Rice, if this was a Bruno Fernandes, if this was a Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, people will look at him and be getting onto him. But he was spent more time complaining at the ref about a man having a concussion than he did spending time actually helping his team win. So the quality all around, like from the Manchester City players today, was not good enough for me. Considering that you work on the Pep Guardiola, you are considered the best team in the league overall. You've got most of the league titles are there. You're always favourites to win some kind of trophy. And today, there's just a lack of invention, a lack of spark, a lot of just enthusiasm to do something special. And that's what you need from your players when you're trying to win the league. Sometimes you will have games like this, because you saw with Arsenal today. Arsenal weren't amazing. They weren't at their firing best, but they found a way to get somewhere. And it came from magic from Max Dowman. Obviously, he's an amazing kid. Beautiful cross in to Hincapié, who then lets it roll off to Gyökeres to score. And then his magical goal at the end. But where was that for Man City today? Where was someone trying to do something captivating and different? And it just wasn't there. The quality was poor.
It's so true, because we have been indoctrinated by a very popular group of football fans online that moments aren't important and it should all be about the system. I think systems are more important for maintaining possession or being strong defensively. Sometimes both, depending on the way you want to play. Leicester's system when they won the league was not about possession, but it was about being strong defensively. When it comes to your attack, Pep Guardiola has always stated this, and I agree with him. Fergie has always stated this. Wenger and all of them, that their job is to get the ball to the edge of the box, and then it's about the individuals. And when you look today, Haaland, 2 or 3 good chances, didn't take them. Semenyo had a couple of good chances today, should have taken them. He gets a bit of a pass because he's scored quite a lot of goals in recent weeks for City. Foden came on. Big fan of Foden, but he was invisible, poor. Cherky comes on, invisible, poor. Doku, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of this, a lot of that, and nothing. Do you know? It's all. He's great when he's sexting, but when it comes to it, flaccid. And at the end of the day, that needs to be discussed because the recruitment hasn't been good enough, and/or Pep isn't getting the best out of this squad. And ultimately, it's what's costing them this league title. Arsenal just have more players that come up with special moments and goals more so than City's do. And Arsenal don't have that goal scorer like a Haaland that might bang in 20, 25 league goals plus. But what I think they've got 19 different goal scorers this year. They, whether it's Timber on a corner, Gabriel on a corner, Saliba on a corner, whether it's a 16-year-old Max Dowman today being the spark. Saka scored 2 massive goals in their last 4 wins in the title running. Gyökeres turning up today. You saw Eze in the North London derby be the star of the show. Every week it seems to be somebody different can be the match winner for Arsenal. Where with City, invariably, it's if Haaland isn't doing it, nobody else is. And I criticised Michael Richards earlier on in the season for talking about that, because I thought others would step up. And I've got to hold my hands up and say, I think I got that wrong about this City squad. Semenyo's come in and done it, but he's the only guy right now. And if he ain't on form, like Haaland, we put this stat up the other day on Straight Facts. It's been sort of 4, I might get the date slightly wrong here, but it's like 4 months since Doku scored. It's about 3 months since Foden scored. It's been over a month now that Haaland scored, a month and a half since Cherki scored. And there was one other forward that I'm now forgetting, who, again, it's been a couple of months since they've scored.
Savinho. Did you say Savinho?
It might be Savinho. It could be somebody else. I'll have to go back and look at the breakdown on the graphic that came up. But more importantly than who the individual is, where is the criticism? Where is the stick? Where is the... I mean, there was some criticism of Pep, and he maffed off. And I just saw City fans quote tweeting it going, yeah, but Fergie made mistakes as well. I'm thinking, what's it got to do with Sir Alex? You've been retired for 13 years, you morons. At the end of the day, they're crumbling under the Arsenal pressure. I've been talking about it for weeks. I'm glad to see it as well. I'm very, very glad to see it, because I want these guys to go down. That's it. So it was those 4 players. Yeah, it was Doku, 0 goals in 4 months. Foden, no goals in 3 months. Cherki, no goals in a month and a half. Haaland, no goals in over a month in the Premier League. It's nowhere near good enough from your attacking. And by the way, what's that attacking line cost? And more importantly, what's it worth? So we know Cherki was a cheap signing, and Foden didn't cost them anything to buy. But what's their value there? You're probably looking at what? If I said £400 million, would that be crazy? Haaland's 200 million of that. You're looking at anywhere between 300 to 400 million pound of talent, and they're not scoring the goals. There's something off key there, but massive.
And it's just running through the whole team. Like I said, we can speak about Rodri today. Even their goal. Listen, Bernardo Silva scored. He didn't mean that. Nope. At all. That was a fluky goal that they scored. If he had done what he wanted to do, which was cross, would it have been a goal? We don't know. And in the back line, I don't know what was happening with that header, Terry. What was happening with that corner? And also, what was happening with Guehi? Big moment for him there to keep his team in the title race. You have a free shot on goal. No one can challenge you. No one can, and you fluff your line and you sky it. These are the moments that the big players, right? So people like to laugh at Arsenal for Gabriel is your top scorer, or Corner is your top scorer, or your centre backs always bail you out. Well, sometimes you need your centre backs to bail you out. And today, Guehi, as much as I really like him as a player, really like him as a player, he didn't step up today. He got nervous. He bottled it, and that's the symptom of Man City right now. They just don't have the mentality.
No, I agree. What's the chat saying, KJ? What's the chat saying? What the chat saying?
Let's go to the chat. Well, okay, City bottlers, you know what I mean? But yeah, we got some super chats here, and we got some member chats in there as well. We can see you guys in there. So it's the first super chat here. Says, Terry, you're welcome to the parade. Oh, we all know Terry's going to be there in his red Arsenal shirt for sure. Big up to Reese for sending us a super chat with nothing said. Thank you for that, my friend. Also, we got a super chat here from Sanch. I'm just gonna call you Sanch. Sanchit. And he says, this might be the worst Premier League season I've witnessed in 21 years. I'm a United fan, and I personally do not think we deserve to be third. Here's what I'll say about that. Listen, is this season going to be a classic one for the ages? Probably not. But if you look at the most seasons in the Premier League, how many do you truly remember as being the greatest of all time season? What does the greatest of all time season actually look like in the Premier League? Because there can only be one winner, there can only be 3 teams getting relegated, and there can only be 4 teams, 5 teams now get Champions League. So, okay, cool, it's the worst, but your team can only do what it can do in that season. So, and listen, are we the third best team in England? I'm like, really? Maybe not. But are we performing the best in the season that we're in? Yes. If we can continue on that and get Champions League, will I ever look back at this season and be like, you know what, guys, I'm so angry that we came third that year. We just didn't deserve it. No, I don't care. Like, the season will be what it will be. And you win it how you win it. Arsenal may be the worst champions we've ever seen, but guess what? They're still champions. And what does that say about everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, look, no season when Man United haven't won the league have I looked back at it and gone, oh, what a season. Because I'm thinking about it from that direction. Do we not deserve to be in third place? Of course we do. We've been the third best team so far this season. There is no such thing as a false position in the league by the 38 game period. You might argue 5 games, 10 games in, Sunderland were never going to maintain where they were in the league. They were always going to level out at some point. But we do deserve to be there. And I sometimes feel that people often look at league positions, and if they're not happy with who's playing or who the manager is or who's running the club, that dictates whether or not they celebrate it. I've seen that with like certain refereeing decisions recently. When Man United have won games through certain refereeing decisions of being accurate, oh, that's bad because I don't want to praise us being third in the league. I'm going to say that's not a foul, and then the opponent gets a foul like it, and they kick off about it. Oh, it's ruining football. When actually a lot of it is shrouded, and I want to be right about a prediction. So there's an element. I'm not saying that's you, Sachin, but I don't. It's not the worst league title race I've ever seen. I think it's just there. It's amongst many really good ones. You've got a great relegation battle, a great top 4 battle. But this is also what happens, and what we're experiencing as a generation, including myself. I don't remember football as vividly from the late 80s, early 90s because I was a kid as I do now. We're noticing a massive leveling of the playing field in England. The floor has been raised. So all teams can beat each teams. You go back to the late 90s and the noughties, I'd say teams that were typically in the bottom 8, the likelihood of them beating the top teams was so low because there was such a disparity in class. So now what you have are teams that are going to get relegated this year who are good enough not just to beat any team in the Prem, not enough for us to have a half an opportunity of winning a European trophy this year, but also being relegated. That tells you. So there is almost this element of creating this level. Maybe what Man United and Liverpool wanted 2 decades ago to be given the majority of the money because most of the viewers were looking for us. Maybe that would have made the Premier League more exciting for people if there wasn't this leveling of the playing field. So look, it's one of those things. It's when you level the playing field, you're always going to get seasons that are more like this. You're never going to. You might not ever see if it stays like this. A team go on a 20-game winning run. And I actually think this is more exciting than knowing that, well, that team's definitely going to win every week because, yeah, that's my view.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat, though. AFC, Arsenal needs 5 wins and a draw to win the EPL, even if Man City win the rest. That is 5 wins and a draw from 7 games. Can they do it? I don't think you would need that, actually. I don't think this Man City team is consistent enough to win every game for the rest of the season. So you may not even need 5 wins and a draw to get that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because looking at City's fixtures in the league for a second. So they play that's been moved. So the next game, this is crazy. The next game City and Arsenal both play in the league is against each other because they missed the weekend of the Carabao Cup final.
Yes, they did.
So that's where it could really change because that game becomes a 6-pointer. I mean, if Arsenal go there and win, it becomes a 12-point gap with 6 games to go. So again, it changes lots of things. But it now means Arsenal don't need to win at the Etihad. And I did say to a lot of people, I think people are putting too much. I mean, ironically, I think, remember everybody said, the winner of the Carabao Cup definitely is the team that's winning the league. I said at the time, it may not come down to that. It may not.
It won't be that. And, listen, I'll say it now. I hope Man City win the Carabao Cup. But listen, but other than that, I won't.
Yeah, for the concept.
Yeah, maybe it's early. Maybe we won the league. Come on, you Gunners. Yes, listen, it's firmly in Arsenal's hands and Arsenal fans. I know people want you to always be humble, always be downtrodden, always be like, oh, my team's so bad, we're just gonna bottle it. But I do believe you can start to hope now. I do believe you can start to believe. So don't be afraid to just say that, because at the end of the day, you only live once, and you may never know when you win the league again. It's been almost 30 years for you guys. Any bets on what Hamza is going to use an excuse? His excuse is he's not here. You know what Hamza's like. You know he ain't showing up. And then in 2 weeks later, when they win a game, he'll show up like nothing's happened, and he'll start saying, "Well, it was because of the wind." And you know what? If we do this Y and Z, we'll be there. Like I believe it. Hamza, you know what Hamza is. Bring us Hamza. All their 115 FC fans have gone into hiding. Question: what will the media narrative be now? Rivals or rooting for the 115? This is your karma. Hey, listen. The media narrative will just be Arsenal are the worst champions ever. That's just what it will be now. Nothing about Pep, nothing about Man City's collapse and their failure to achieve when they're considered the greatest team we've ever seen in English history. So, yeah, we know what the narrative is. And for Hamza, we know what Hamza is. We all know what's going on. We got Victor here says City is gassed. They won't beat Real Madrid or Arsenal or Chelsea. I believe they're done. So, no, obviously, Champions League looking like they're going to go out. If they lose to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, that's a trophy gone. And in Chelsea, that Chelsea game is massive.
Also, I'm an idiot. Sorry. That Arsenal City game is in the Carabao Cup. They don't play next in the league. I'm stupid. I was reading it wrong. They play Chelsea away next, and then it's the Arsenal game. Yeah. So it's again, I see Chelsea getting a point off them, and then they're going to that game. And as long as Arsenal haven't dropped any points, the Etihad games could almost be a little bit irrelevant in terms of the title race and everything else. But yeah, sorry, I got that wrong.
We're getting crowned at the Etihad. Oh, if that happened, the amount of piss being boiled would be.
Is that mathematically possible? If City were to get beat by Chelsea,
and
Arsenal win their next two games, I don't know. I mean,
Chat GTP, help us out, mate. AI, AI, help us. Please.
There's 9 points difference, but there's a game in hand, right? So that's 2 games time. So let's just say City don't get any points and Arsenal win those 2 games. That means Arsenal would then be 12, 15 points clear. Arsenal would have 5 games to go, which is 15 points available. City it wouldn't be mathematically done at that point because there's the game in hand, but it would be, I mean, if Arsenal win the next 2 games and City lose the next 2 games, it's practically impossible for Arsenal not to win the league. Yeah, it'd be almost over.
Emmanuel, they'll find a way to blame Arsenal for the draw. 100%. Arteta has surpassed every single living or dead managers in the English game. This is his first managerial job, rebuilt Arsenal, and now on for a quad. Listen, I think that's a bit too disrespectful to like the likes of Pep and Fergie and Jose, who have done amazing things in the English Premier League, to say he surpassed everyone. But his achievement it will be up there. If he manages to win his first title, if he manages to win maybe a double Champions League and Premier League, maybe a treble or something like that, then we can say it's one of the best seasons we've seen ever.
And by the way, everyone who ever doubted Arteta, everyone who ever said he'd never do it, never get there, don't even bother flood the chat on any TikToker, any Instagrammer, any X account, any YouTuber that doubted him. Don't give them the views and the attention they want if this goes the other way. The best way to respond to those individuals, I don't know where KJ's just gone. The best way to respond to those individuals is to ignore them and give them zero oxygen. Like putting you ever did that experiment at school when you put a bit like a glass over a candle and watch the candle go out? That is the best thing to do because they don't deserve the attention they're going to get from it.
This City team is just a shadow of itself. I've never seen City so poorly play so poorly since Pep's arrival. They have great players, but there's no creativity, and they don't create enough for Haaland. They don't create enough for anyone right now. And to be fair, I think Pep not starting Cherki in a game like this and not starting Foden, massive, massive mistake because those 2 players play in those kind of tight games.
Yeah, well, in fairness, they do have 3 more points than his first at this stage of his first season in the Premier League. So we have seen a City team under Pep about this level. It was the first team that he had, to be fair.
AMG going to back here again. So we're getting crowned at the Etihad. We're getting crowned at the Etihad. He's repeating that. He's gas. Hey, listen, my G, have this time. Enjoy it. The relegation battle more interesting. Yes, it is. This relegation battle might be legendary. If Spurs ends up getting relegated and Arsenal win the league at the same time, no one can complain it's the most boring league we've ever seen or the worst season we've ever seen. It actually might be one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen because we've never seen a rival of one club win the league and then the other rival get relegated at the same time. When have we seen that? Not as big as rivals as Spurs and Arsenal. Thank you, Ian, for being a member. We appreciate that. And also to Prome Ice Gaming as well for being a member. We appreciate that as well. Kenny, we did it at the Bridge. We did it at the Lane. We did it at Anfield. We will do it at the FSAD. It will be the same. Listen, Arsenal have got a good track record of winning at their rivals or winning at big teams and being crowned. To be fair, 15 corners, one goal needed. Oh, that sounds like Don then. For Don, is that your burner? Sounds like your burner from O'Malley. 40 Talk with a Dita says the media hype City ex-player pundits back City allowed them to celebrate 1-0. Now it is created against Arsenal. City still bottles it with all that support. Who's the real mentality monsters? That's very true. We did see City celebrate 1-0, celebrate last minute draws. Nothing said about them. The media need to be called. The media need to be called out for their duplicity. Spurs, yes, Spurs. You watch the drop. Mind the gap. We got another chat here. This is a City review show, but I just wanted to mention the fact that Valverde has scored 5 goals in 3 games for Madrid. Xabi Alonso didn't do himself any favors by playing him at right back all season. Yeah, big up to Valverde. He's in great form right now. Give us our trophy. Now it's been a long 22 years and we've been patient and loyal to our club. This is our time now. Listen, I know everyone's like, a lot of the football fandom is like, I just can't stand Arsenal fans. That's why they don't deserve to win the league. Listen. They've waited 22 years, yeah? And they've been the banter fan base for almost 22 years. You can't deny them when they win the league. Please let them celebrate. Let them be obnoxious because they've been waiting for this, right? Because when it's your turn after your club hasn't won the league in how many years, you would want people to stop you either. So let them do their thing, man. Hi, I agree with your analysis, but you should refrain from calling Arsenal great until they've consistently won 2 or 3 EPLs at least. And at least a UCL. Otherwise, there'll be one season wonders. Do you agree?
Do you know what I would say to that? Do we agree? It depends on what else they do. I mean, you do a double, you do the double. You're a great team. You win a Premier League and a Champions League. You're a great team. These are feats that have seldom been done across the 150-year history of English football. So winning a Premier League and an FA Cup at the same time. I mean, so this is it. If they win the Premier League and nothing else, I wouldn't call them a great team against the pantheon of English greats. They win a Premier League and a Champions League at the same time. Only Man United have done it twice. I think Liverpool have done it once. City have done it once. So to be only one of 5 teams in 150 years of football to do that, that's a different conversation. But equally, retaining league titles is one of the hardest things in football to do. So there's loads of things that can. So there's greatness, and then there's a measurement within greatness as well.
Yeah. Joshua Jack, our friend here, says, I'm happy Terry mentioned Leicester because it wasn't fair on their fans when people say, oh, you already won the league because no one else was good. We're not about to change it now. Same applies to Arsenal. That is facts. That is facts, my friend. I disagree. This season has been very competitive. Today's match is a typical example of how competitive the Buttons have been with their low blocks. Man United deserve to be where they are.
This is elitism. The issue is in the one thing that Pep and Klopp have done because of how good their teams were in a backdrop of where a lot of the other top teams as well, United nowhere near it, Chelsea off the boil, Spurs did okay in that time. Arsenal were crap in a lot of that period too. It's taking nothing away from those 2 teams. It's just we're going into an era now where there's the playing field's a little more even, so teams are unable to win so many games in a row. That doesn't mean it's uncompetitive just because we don't have 2 teams that can go on 20-game winning runs anymore. You've got to look at the reasons as to why. Now, I still think those top Liverpool and City teams under Pep and Klopp would challenge for this league title. They would challenge for the 99 league title. They would challenge for any league title in the history of English football because they're that good. The problem is what we often don't do this at times is we don't look at who you're up against. And I always use tennis as an example. Andy Murray won 3, I think, Grand Slams and a couple of Olympic golds. But when you listen to tennis people, real aficionados speak, they often put him above guys that have got 5, 6, 7 plus Grand Slams. Why? Because he was competing in the greatest era of tennis with Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal. So look what he was up against. So there is this, sometimes you have to look at who you're running against, who you're fighting against, it's why in boxing, there are certain boxers from the 90s, heavyweights that didn't win world titles, who a lot of people think could easily be the world champion now, maybe not with Usyk. But you have to look at the playing field that you're in. So I love this.
It's why Messi and Ronaldo are considered the GOATs, because they have to compete with the other one next to them. A lot of the other people that are in GOAT conversations, they're different eras. Like, it's one of the first times we've had potential GOATs up against each other. It's very different. That Real Madrid, Ray, man, like Ray, how you doing, my friend? That Real Madrid performance and score, I felt hurt City. I thought they had dropped points today, and they did, because they have to find another way to overcome that. And West Ham fighting for their lives. Yeah, listen, the last 10 games against a relegation team is the last team you want to face. Relegation teams, when they're fighting for it, horrible. I remember when the likes of Sunderland, Wigan, West Brom, those kind of teams, when they're fighting for relegation, horrible teams to face. Horrible. Come on, United tomorrow, almost seal Champions League football. I listen, I'm hoping we get the win tomorrow, because that'd be a massive 3 points there. Hamza excuses, it was too cold. Listen, we know what Hamza's going to be on. KJ, I need you to say it for me for me once, a mean Arsenal back for all time's sake. Listen, I remember Terry. I remember when I used to do it, because Arsenal fans used to get gassed, and then it always used to collapse. And I used to say to tease them. And I remember you saying to me, "You need to stop doing that, because it's unfair and it hurts you as a content creator." So I stopped. I've not said Arsenal back in 4 years, right? So for you, my friend, and Arsenal fans, Arsenal are back, baby. You know what I mean? They're here. By
the way, that was even before Arsenal turned the corner. And I was like, KJ, I think that joke. Well, I said to you, I think that joke's just done now. I think stop doing it for a bit. Yeah, that's old. That's 5 years ago now. Yeah, that was when Arsenal was so bad. I got to a point where I was like, I can't even take the piss out of him anymore.
That was when he was losing.
People come to me and go, Terry's an Arsenal fan. That just tells me you haven't been a subscriber of the Terrace for long enough. Because when Arsenal were bad, I said they were bad. But they got to a point where they were so bad that I couldn't even criticize them anymore. It felt like I was, I've done it. Yeah, I've got to a point with Spurs this season where I can't laugh anymore. It feels horrible.
League would be over if we had won against Wolves. Man City played Chelsea away first before Arsenal. Yeah, we did clarify that. But hey, listen, if Man City drop points against in that game, looking tight. I don't understand the worst champions debate. You're either the champions or you're not. No team is better than Arsenal right now. That for me is a champions team. Hey, that's fair. I don't fully get it either, to be fair. We need to do a stream one day to break down what makes a good bad champion, what makes a good bad league, just so everyone can have a consensus. We tried to do that. Remember, we tried to do that with world class and got nowhere. Pep isn't a super manager like Jose. Never built a mid-table team and won massive trophies until he does. I agree. Then I agree he's the best. But we'll see. There's different demands for different teams. Terry obviously is going to lick his lips at this. Pep having to strive and fight under the pressure of being considered the best constantly year in year out and still winning. That's a different pressure, and that's still also hard in itself.
The thing with the debate is it's about nitpicking. When it comes to a conversation one day that we'll have on the Terrace or on another platform about the greatest of the greatest of the greatest, these are little things that split hairs. Which is, I did see Sir Alex win with teams where we were predicted not to and expected to not win the league. What I haven't seen Pep do yet, every season when they've been predicted to be maybe not win the league. This year was that one of those seasons. Liverpool win it. Can't imagine City will. Has he been able to get an unfancied team to win the league? So far, no. But he's still young. He's still got years ahead of him. It isn't a foregone conclusion. But I would say the 3 times that people haven't predicted his team to win the league and haven't really seen them as a front runner, they haven't done it. And when it comes to splitting hairs in those elitist of the elite debates, that's where it matters. In the grand scheme of things, Pep's one of the greatest of all time. He's an absolutely world-class manager. His team, whether he stays at City or leaves, will come again, and he'll still be a massive threat for years to come. He's not crap. He's not a checkbook manager. But yeah.
Yeah. We've got here, what's your percentage chance Arsenal go immortal and win the quad? I'm going to say 20%. 20%. I just think it's so hard. Winning the quad is so hard. Like, even if you look at the draws Arsenal have gotten this season, you can say they're easy ones, fine. But they still have to then overcome a hard team, which will be in the final normally. So, yeah, we'll see on the Carabao Cup. We'll see in the Carabao Cup final.
We will.
Yeah. Doku says free Cherky. Also, Doku is not a winger. He's better central. And maybe Pep needs to try that more. I get the banter. However, I think all the hate is getting a bit too much. I'd like rather fans to show a bit of grace if we win the title. There are heaps of gracious long-time Arsenal fans like me. Come on, you gooners. Yes, don't always focus on the trolls who make things hard for everyone. Like, give the genuine Arsenal fans a bit of space to enjoy their win. Don't take away from them. Imagine the relegation battle if Andrew was at Forest, Nuno fired from Forest, and Ange fired from Spurs. Oi, that would have been some quotes. Some quotes would have been said if Andrew was still there. Somebody please check on John Obi Mikel. He must be seething right now. Arsenal are the worst. Okay, stop us then. That is true. If they're the worst, why can't you
say that very quickly? This is where Arsenal fans should be enjoying this. City spent 600 million in 12 months to try and re-win the league, and it looks like you're going to beat them to it. You've been called bottlers, and some City fans, and Kel's backstage, and Kel didn't do this, so Kel don't go into this category, but people like Boovy, Arsenal, the biggest bottlers, the worst this, the worst that in the world. We're definitely winning the league, he said. This was about 6 weeks ago. Now that Arsenal win it, that makes you made your own team the weakest side ever, because you've been beaten by the weakest side ever. This is the problem when you run your mouth and run these narratives. Again, some of us content creators don't need to speak shit to get attention. Some of us do. Big up Boovy, good guy. But you've chatted shit, and metaphorically, you're getting banged.
You get banged. I missed that phrase. Bring it back. Last super chat, and we're bringing out our wonderful panel for tonight. Arsenal have the lead. Arsenal have the league from game week 7, 3 points ahead of City at the time, and we have held them off on a 3 separate periods over the season when the gap was 2. That is true. Arsenal have been up there. We need to find the percentage of how long they've been up there for, because they might have been up there for the longest time we've ever seen anyone be first.
I think Chelsea one season. I think Chelsea 1 year. I don't remember who their manager was. They went top first week of the campaign and stayed. I think Jose's first year, they stayed there all fucking year.
It's just stayed up. Well, 100%. That's crazy.
In Jose's first year, I think they did.
They'll have to be up there with one of the champions who've been up the top the longest and not taken down. I'd invest in mirrors right now, because the only way City is reaching max cap next year is with one of them every other seat. Max capacity in their stadium. Okay, I get you now. Right, and one last thing. Apparently, it is mathematically possible for Arsenal to win the league and be crowned champions on the final at the Etihad. That is sent to me by Dio. I'm not gonna read it out because it's a load of symbols I don't understand. But right, okay, Terry, wonderful man, go rest up. Unless you're staying for the panel, where you want to?
No, I'll leave the panel to it. I just wanted to come on. I'm not very well today, but I wanted to come on because it was seismic. And my final message to all the gooners.
No, stay here. No. You're not going there. Don't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere yet. Panel, you guys are coming. Give me 2 seconds. This man needs to answer for his crimes. We're going to put him on a flipping trial right now. Hamza is here. He's shown up late.
Hey.
The court has been wanting, the jury has been waiting for you, my friend, to answer for the questions. What is the excuse today, Hamza? What's the excuse?
I don't know, but realistically, I don't know. I think I'll be honest with you. A couple of things I'll say. One is obviously our team. One, I'm gonna blame the TV issue. You know, to put the game at 8 o'clock. No, I'm not. I'm being honest. Like, you know, to put the chat like to be on live on TV at 8 o'clock prime time Saturday 8, yeah, puts pressure on us, yeah. A lot of our players didn't deliver with that pressure because this game was supposed to be a 3. I'm not saying it has an effect on you.
No, it was
whether you
supposed
like it or not.
No, it can't.
If people know that you're being watched,
it was meant to be. Hang on, it was meant to be. Hamza. It was meant to be 12:30. That's why it was on BT Sport. They moved it to give you an extra half a day's rest after your Champions League game. They did you a favor.
Yeah, but what's the worst time to be playing? Saturday 8. Everyone knows.
I thought it Saturday 12:30.
Saturday 12:30 is okay. But we've beaten Crystal Palace Saturday 12:30, 3-0. Okay. Saturday 8, everyone's at home watching. The Arsenal have just beaten Everton. Now everyone's watching us. The players have lost to Real Madrid. I tell you, go. If I ask you, KJ, Terry, you're playing football, everyone's watching it. Saturday 8. People used to watch Silva Black. Yeah? About Blind Date. People used to watch this kind of gladiators. I swear Saturday, everyone's at home. I'm not complaining. I'm not making it a big deal, but that has an effect. Everyone, even fans here, will absolutely be a hypocrite. I've seen fans say, Saturday 8 o'clock is the worst time. That has an effect on our performance, yes. Real Madrid. But today, I have to blame the manager. I think the manager, Pep Guardiola, is not immune to criticism. I've always not criticized Pep Guardiola. I always try and protect him. I think Pep Guardiola is the greatest, yes. But I think when I watch that kind of football, there's a lot of people say that, it's boring football. 100%. Bro, first half, pass. If I'm getting paid 20 million of pass, no, one shot on target. I don't remember that shot on target. Do people remember that shot on target in the first half?
The Bernardo. They counted as a shot. The Bernardo counted as a shot. They spoke about
that counts as a shot. And did he mean
Actually, the commentator said they had one shot. It was the cross that was supposed to be a cross, and it counted as a shot.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, the play of football, of passing the ball around, and he doesn't. What's the most important thing in football? Put the ball in the net. Shoot us.
Hamza, the attackers couldn't get the ball because Rodri and Bernardo are too excited to just pass the ball to each other and do nothing. That's not Pep Guardiola.
It's recycling. Bro, I'm watching 45 minutes. I swear to God. Left, middle, left, right. Left, middle, left, right. Left, middle, left, right. That's what I'm thinking. What am I watching, bro? Bro, I should go. I could be admitted to hospital watching this kind of football. This is madness. 90 minutes. How many years I'm watching the same thing, man? We used to have guys. Take a shot, man. Take a shot. Do people not want to score? Haaland? Bro, what's Haaland doing now? 500. I used to see
get the ball, Hamza.
Ibrahimovic. Eto.
Semenyo is the 10 supposed to get early
got sold. No. Ibrahimovic got benched and sold. Why is Haaland not getting benched? Mamouche came off the pitch. He said every effing time. He said every effing time is me. Mamouche. He's the guy that was creating chances. What is Haaland doing? Mavropanos pocketed him. Mavropanos. All I'm seeing this guy every game hugging players. Bro, there was no single shot on target. The ball should be in the net. My guy, I'm sorry. The only balls he's touching is in the pants. I don't know. The guy was hurt. What the hell are you doing?
Okay.
Put that ball in there. Score some goals. Why are people watching this? Yeah, Kel, was that not boring to watch?
Yes, it's boring fucking football, pardon the language, from Pep Guardiola. You have Ryan Turkey on your bench. What are you doing? You put a front three up who all have concrete first touches and no creator on the pitch. What are you doing, Pep Guardiola? I think we have some of the best attackers in the league. He's not playing them. I am losing my mind right now. We have a very talented team who can create chances, but they're on the goddamn bench. Why? I don't want to watch fucking Bernardo Silva in the year 2026 do nothing. Put him on the bench. He is not doing anything for me right now. That was a keeper fuck up. That's the only reason he scored the goal. The guy has been trashed for 2 seasons now. Get rid of him. I'm sick of it. I'm just going to fucking melt down about him. I can't anymore. Ryan Cherky is the best creator on this team. He cannot start a game. Why? We can't score goals. We can't create chances. And we don't put a creative player on the pitch. Why? I'm losing my mind.
I've got a 16-year-old.
I'm losing my mind over this.
16-year-old Max Dalman winning a game for Arsenal. I don't have a winner. What's going on? Have some shame, man. 16-year-old coming off the pitch and winning possibly the league title for Arsenal. And people want me to defend some of the players that are taking 250,000 a week, 500,000 a week. A 16-year-old. He's not even done his GCSE. Year 11. GCSE is June and May, 2 months' time. He's stressing about that. He just bloody... I want the game. I'm stressing. I'm thinking, why am I stressing watching Arsenal Everton? Because I'm shitting my pants. 89, 8 minutes. They score. I rip my shirt off. I go upstairs. I'm thinking I'm done. The least they can do, a 6 goal. Give me that shirt. Let me wear that shirt. Let me wear that shirt.
Hamza, keep the shirt on.
Winning for Arsenal. 2 hours later, I'm winning the game.
Yeah, keep the shirt on.
You know that tick? Is this video made for kids? You know.
What are we doing here? Where's the winning mentality? Where's the winning? And it comes, Kel. The problem didn't start now. The problem started 1st of July 2025. When Al Hilal dunked on me at 5 in the morning, that's when I knew it was a problem. Because Al Hilal should not be dunking on you. Al Hilal dunked on these guys. I said, yo, straight away. I woke up, I fell asleep. I see that guy doing this. I'm thinking, what's this happened? Hold on. What's happened?
Well, put them glasses back on.
Well, the reality is...
Hilal has knocked out Man City. I'm thinking, bro, what are we doing here?
Take a breath. Take a breath. Let me have a chance. Take a breath.
How can I explain to
Take
people
a breath.
Yeah, Hamza. We want you to
take a
make
breath.
sure you're okay.
Let me speak for a minute.
Go
and
on,
then,
Kel, you go.
The two Arsenal fans here are having the time of their lives watching this. But we were playing a style of football in about October, November, December-ish that worked. We were playing in transition. We were playing with Foden and Turkey together in the middle with Doku on the wing. And the team was thriving. Haaland was getting the ball. He was running. He looked happy. He was smiling. Foden was scoring a bunch of goals. Everyone says, where's Phil Foden? Well, we were playing great with Foden early in the season. On January 1st, 2026, when Pep decided to start playing the side-to-side boring bullshit football again, this team just collapsed. Have you noticed since the Sunderland game where we were creating a ton of chances, didn't score anything? Ever since that game, it's just been all downhill. There's been no creativity. There's been no attack. It's been slow. There's just no pace. This has been the complaint of our fan base for a long time. We are not moving the ball fast enough. And I don't understand why we went away from what was working when we were moving the ball quicker and running in transition back to this boring bullshit that nobody on the team could do. I'm sorry. Doku, Foden, Turkey, Haaland, Marmoush, Semenyo, these are not possession players. Why the hell are we playing in possession? It doesn't make any sense. Run. Play in transition. What are you waiting for? We've been dropping points right, left, and center. Nobody can score a goal in the second half of games because we're just playing the turgid football that's so easy to defend. Nobody has to do anything. They're just sitting there, just hanging out in the box. Nobody's getting the ball to anybody. They're just standing around waiting. And then the one time in the game somebody finally gets the ball, they're just so checked out of it because they're not going to waste their time making runs for a ball that's not coming. So they're all just checked out. It's a disaster right now. And the only person to blame is Pep Guardiola. He keeps selecting this lineup. He's playing this style. I'm sick of it. I'm starting to ask serious questions about the manager because this is the second season in a row, the same fucking bullshit. And it's not working. He's been given a lot of money and a lot of really good players. He's benched all of them to play his 2 favorites that are not good anymore. And I'm tired of it. So that's my rant. I'm going to let Hamza take the crying over. I'll see you in a little while.
Coming now.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for your
Think about this. Arsenal winning the league after 25 years, man.
22. Damn. Trying to extend our drought.
Anton, let him cook, man. Cooking.
Oh, if Arsenal win
Do you know what it is though? Do you know what it is, Hamza? Hamza, do you know what it is? The reason why you're like part of what's making you feel in pain is Arsenal winning the league is because of people like you and how you've over-egged the Arsenal conversation, the way you played them down, the way you belittled them, the way you've little broed them, the way you've lied about them. And now it's coming full circle because you've gone too far. And there was a time when it was funny and right to banter Arsenal. But in the last few years, it's just become tiring and boring because everybody could see, everyone with a working brain could see what was on the cards for Arsenal from the 22-23 season on as they grew. You know, Judge Mo, Hussam, all of us, we've had so much stick. And by the way, they haven't got over the line yet. So much stick, so much abuse just for saying they're good, just for sitting there and saying, why is everybody making a big deal about set piece goals? By the way, 35 goals from open play now, Arsenal, the second highest in the league and the highest goal scorers in the league all year. People have been going on about how bad they are at scoring goals. Maybe not the greatest goal-scoring team of all time, but they're better than everybody else. There's fans of Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool that have been attacking Arsenal's ability to score goals from open play this season. They've got more goals than us. This is why everybody's feeling bad about it, because what you've been done is you've been suckered in by the Igals of this world. Big up Igal, hope you're well, brother. And it's more about them not being happy than talking honestly about football. And that's why you feel more like shit. It's because you push these narratives that you don't even believe in, and now you've got to hold it for giving opinions that you knew weren't even real. It's a madness. If I give an opinion and it's wrong, I can always accept when it's wrong because I meant what I said. For a lot of you guys, you push narratives you didn't believe in for attention on social media, and now you're getting cooked for opinions that you didn't even believe in the first place. Hold that.
No, I just look at this like it's my fault. Sunderland away 2-0. 8 players missing at AFCON. Chelsea don't have a manager. 6 players out. Cucurella out. Caicedo out. How many players they had? They had loads of players out. We couldn't beat them. 2-2 at home. Nottingham Forest, butter jobs. Brighton at home, butter jobs. And now we're going to witness the worst nightmare. Worst nightmare. Forget this.
Why? I don't understand why this meltdown.
Trouble. No, I'm not.
I don't understand. I don't understand
this. This was Liverpool.
It's like that.
Bro, Habibi, I thought you were a fan of Man City since they were in League One and League Two. So I don't understand why you have won 4 league titles over the last 6 years. Why is that meltdown? Football is cyclical. Terry, I've seen his team go 3 years without a league title when Mourinho came in. Wenger, Mourinho before winning. It's not. Why is that meltdown? I don't. Is it about City, Hamza, or is it about genuinely? Is it about City or about Arsenal? Is it about City or about Arsenal?
It's about Arsenal.
It's about us, but the team that wins.
Question.
No, but I don't understand this. Like, because I feel like Liverpool have won 1 league title under Jurgen Klopp and they lost multiple title races, but I haven't seen that much meltdown. Not only from you, by the way, it's all over social media after dinner. Is it about City or about Arsenal winning? I don't understand this.
It's Arsenal. Because if this was Liverpool, Hamza's reaction is not this. If this was Liverpool, he'd probably be shaking their hand and wanting to kiss them because City pool is a real thing. If this was even Chelsea winning the league, Hamza's reaction is
exactly. Mama Flossie saying that's overreaction, but it's not Mama Flossie. It is not overreaction because these are the real feelings. People would rather have anyone win the league but Arsenal, which is City. Because look at everyone now on social media. It's like, City, you let me down. I'm Man United fans and Liverpool fans saying, you let me down. Let me down. Let who down? City let you down. It's crazy. It's nuts. Hamza, you're having a meltdown now because Hamza, you're having a meltdown not because of City. Because for the longest time, City didn't win every title. City won 1 under Mancini, and then they lost titles, and then they won again under Pellegrini. This is normal. You're not going to win every time. Pep is going to leave. Pep is going to leave, and you aren't going to win every title.
What are you?
This football is not going to win every title.
Look, this Arsenal.
You're losing your head. You're losing your head because what are you going to do when you go 2-3 years without winning league titles, like every other team in the world? Like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to be miserable like this? Just concede the title.
Hamza, if they're not good, like you're saying that they are, what are you? What are Man City?
I I think we're the worst enemy. But I'll put this to one thing. The one people that I hate are the referees. They've cost us some
What?
I swear to God.
Arsenal denied a clearer penalty than daylight.
I'll tell you,
this morning,
one second, and I'm being honest. I swear, this is honest. If you're a man who wants to speak the truth and no banter, referee have cost Man City a lot of points this season. The Tottenham referee, the kick Bagay, that could have been 2 points. Foden at Newcastle kicked penalty. We win that game. That's 3 points. We lost that game with Bruno Gomaresh being slightly offside, but they go kicked. That's 3 points. Chelsea, Reece James should have been sent off multiple occasions. That should have been a win. Sunderland, we should have finished those chances, but the referee didn't send off one of the players in a yellow card. A lot of decision has gone against us. We could have been closer. Does that mean Arsenal have definitely won the title? Let me just check 1 second. Are they guaranteed to win the title now?
Welcome to the gang, Hamza. Tinfoil hat gang, baby.
If we win our remaining game, is 64 points if we win the Crystal Palace game. If we beat them 67, they still got to play Newcastle.
Oh my God. Hamza.
Yeah.
We win our next 3 games and you lose to Chelsea. The league is over mathematically.
Wait, listen. You know. I'm gonna quote one of the greatest superhero films of all time.
Thank you.
The Dark Knight. You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. You see what Man City fans were mocking Arsenal fans for doing. You see all the things that Chelsea, United, Liverpool fans used to say about Arsenal fans about the conspiracies and the referees and always blaming everyone else but yourself. Look what you've become, Hamza. Look what you've become. I remember just 2 seasons ago, you said, why are you complaining about refs? You should be so good that referee decisions shouldn't matter. You should overcome them because you're that good. Why are you chatting about refs? Why are you chatting about refs?
But this is exactly it, though, right? And I can talk properly now because I've got my tinfoil hat on and nobody can enter my thoughts. This is it, though. Some of the complaints that Arsenal fans had were right. Some people went too far with it. Igal was one of them, the conspiracy theory side of things. But the beautiful element is people went too far. And they went too far to shit on Arsenal. And it's why I pushed back against it. Who remembers the Chelsea fans last year, like Don on our shows? Arsenal fans just using injuries as an excuse. Yeah, he spent half the season saying, if I had my proper centre-back in there, we'd be a much better team. The problem is everybody goes too far because they never, ever want Arsenal to have a genuine reason why they maybe weren't as good in a particular game or didn't win and get over the line. The problem is when you play these silly games, you get stupid prizes. And then you look stupid when your team goes through a rough patch. As Mo just said, football goes in cycles. You have ups and you have downs. The problem is if we start, and this is why Standards FC are a rotten piece of bacteria when it comes to football, because they set precedents that are impossible to either achieve or maintain. And if that's the benchmark, it just leads to everybody being upset and unhappy to a point where some of these people were talking about not celebrating goals in games that may not lead to you winning major trophies. And there were amoebas and idiots that bought into that. They went, yes, high standards only. It's all part of the same problem that has gone to a way of killing football. And Hamza, at the end of the day, Arsenal are just better than you right now. Your manager, as Kel said, has made some big mistakes. You have got a squad worth over $1 billion. You pay the highest wages in the league, but between your manager and these players, he hasn't got them to deliver. Is this team of yours capable of winning the league? Yes. And what Kel said is so right. You found a few solutions this year where you started looking good, winning some games, being harder to break down and beat. And then Pep's thrown it out the window and tried to revert back to his older way of playing. And he's not evolving as the league evolves. And that's the issue there. Not Arsenal, not referees, not the cold weather, not having no milk deliveries, not because you got put on at 8 o'clock.
But would you not criticize some of the refereeing decisions?
Your whole fan base spent 3 weeks moaning that the fixture congestion was going to hurt you and not Arsenal, although you and Arsenal have the exact same amount of games. They move your game by 7 to 8 hours to give you more rest, and you're still moaning. And it's purely because you've got your towel so far between your legs, right, so far between your legs, it's causing a lot of discomfort, if you get my drift, because Arsenal, the team that you used to support when you were younger, are about to pick you to a title.
Oh, please.
That is what this is about.
Oh, please. Begging for fans as usual. Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, Arsenal Football Club, yeah, they've had an easy run last couple of months. Yeah, we know for a fact. And I said it so many times. Yeah,
baby shark.
when we have to go to Newcastle, they played Mansfield. Champions League, Leverkusen, away. We have to go Madrid. These fixtures are hard. The reason why I complain referees is because KJ, you know for a fact, if you're a man of, yeah, that kick, let's say for example, the Doku kick by Dallo, that's a red card. There's no question. That's a red. Even you as a United fan, you would have said, yeah.
He was a lucky boy that day.
Exactly. So okay, that's clear. That's a clear.
Hamza, this is the problem. You can't.
How can I not complain about
you specifically as a fan can't be the one saying about this stuff, because when we were complaining about you getting Shakhtar, Red Bull Leipzig every single year in the Champions League guaranteed,
but not to the final.
Schalke and them man there in all the thing. When you were getting when you get in your versions of the Mansfields, the Port Vales, in the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, you said you got to beat it's a draw. You have to beat what's in front of you.
I had Real Madrid 6 seasons in a row with Benzema, with Toni Kroos, with Modric.
That's what happened. Hang on, but you're crying like a baby. Hang on a minute. But you're crying like a baby. That's what happens when you're a brilliant team. Go back to the 90s. You watched it. Look at some of the teams. You know, when Fergie had to go up against in the 90s. Every year you play hard teams. Arsenal, look at the last couple of years. Knocked out by Bayern Munich 2 years ago. Last year, look who they played in the knockout stages. Real Madrid beat them. Then had to play PSG. Stop talking. Then they had PSG that knocked them out. This year, yes, Arsenal's FA Cup run so far has been quite fortunate and quite easy by their standards. But at some point, whether it's the semi-finals or the final, they're going to play a tough team. They've had to play Chelsea in the semi-final, and now you in the final of the Carabao Cup. Stop talking. They're in a title race against you and play all the same Premier League teams that you do. If they get to the Champions League semi-final, they get past Leverkusen and past Bodo Glimt. By the way, Bodo Glimt on a 5-game winning streak and battering team.
Please.
They beat you. But if they get past them, they're most likely to get Barcelona in the semi-finals and then one of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, or Liverpool most likely in the final. The idea that if they're to win those trophies, it's purely because they've had an easier run is crazy. Yes, in the third round of the FA Cup, they might have been unfortunate and have got drawn Liverpool away. But at the same time, when you play hard teams and go out, you never get the same type of stick as when you play an easier team and get knocked out. So this is just belly aching because
can I say one thing?
No, you can't say one thing. You have
Just
no
one
right.
thing.
You guys don't have right. No, you have no right. This season, you beat a team 10-2 from League 2. 10-1 or something.
Yeah, but that's in the third round.
No, I don't care.
Third round, cool.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
honestly.
care. You beat a team in League 2 10-1.
Okay, let me just say something.
He's
The
so
one
annoyed
thing
that he's losing the
Arsenal win the
Arsenal
treble.
rather than actually
Arsenal win
losing the
treble.
title. It's unbelievable. I've never seen this in my life. He's so
Hamza,
rattled
it's
that he's
very
losing
easy.
the league to Arsenal. He's
If
not
I was
rattled
in-
about his team.
yeah.
He wasn't upset like this when he lost to Bodo Glimt.
Hamza,
He
if I
wasn't
was in
upset
your
like this
position,
with
what I would have
Madrid.
said is, hey, look, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm disappointed in my team, but congratulations, Arsenal. Instead, you're sitting here and you're bitching and crying and throwing a temper tantrum.
No, the thing is, I'm not saying, listen, congratulations for your win to West Ham, for Everton today. Sorry, not West Ham, Everton today. I wish you played West Ham away. At the end of the day, if you win, let's say worse, and I pray to God it will not happen. And I pray to God it will not happen. You win the treble. Oh my God. God forbid. If you win the treble, it will be the worst treble side ever. No fans.
Oh, shut up.
What if we become the only quadruple side ever?
Hamza,
Oh, he's gone. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't care. I've done that because that's foolishness. We're not listening on the Football Terrace to such bollocks. How dare you say any treble team is the worst? Anything. It's a treble winning team. Shut your mouth.
They haven't even won the treble yet.
And hold that. Just be quiet.
One of the things that annoys me the most about this is, like, even I'm just going through like YouTube at the moment, and then there's channels going like, "Oh, City have gifted Arsenal." So I was like, they haven't gifted us anything. We've won our games. They've never been in front of us. So what are they gifting to us? Like, it's just any narrative to take anything away from us doing it. Like, we've gone through that patch where we've struggled a bit, and we've still got wins even when we played poorly, which is a sign of teams winning the title. And then City can't do that. That's their problem. What's it got to do? Like, it's the same with Liverpool. Liverpool were getting. A lot of people said Liverpool last year. I was only because everyone else has dropped off. But it's just like they've still won their games. They've still, despite everyone else dropping points, they've still won their games. So it's ridiculous. And it's just like West Ham. It was 8 o'clock for West Ham as well. This game was just as much importance for them in a relegation battle. So it's equal. They could have gone, oh, it's 8 o'clock. They capitulate under a better side. They haven't. So it's just like, I genuinely, it's just Hamza though, I think, because Kel was spot on with most things she said. This is why after most Arsenal games come on when we've dropped points, I've said I'm not that worried or concerned because this City team are going to drop further points, and it has happened. Everyone after that Liverpool result where we didn't go 9 points clear, because before that Liverpool game, we could have gone 9 points clear, and everyone's like the league was over from that point. We've got to that point anyway. Granted, City have got a game in hand, but who's to say the City at this rate are even going to win their game in hand? So I just
Doesn't
genuinely the amount of anger that about is Arsenal winning the league is just I don't get it at all. We've rattled so many people. I just don't get it.
It's very true what you say, Seb, and I think it's because people just one of the reasons why when I started the terrace, I just decided I wanted to talk honestly. Of course, I get irate about things and frustrated about things, but when you speak honestly, it's so much easier to cope with. If people go back and watch the video I did because Liverpool won the league on a night they didn't play. And I went live and I hosted calls from Liverpool fans, congratulated them. I was annoyed, but because I hadn't spent the whole season just being mindlessly and to a trolling degree bitter towards it, it's actually a lot easier to accept. And the issue is for a lot of people that the level of hatred they've shown towards Arsenal, I told you it's an illness. It's become like a genuine obsession online for a lot of people. And a lot of them have deluded themselves into thinking that you had no chance, you were definitely going to throw it away, and they've not woke up and smelled, and they're going to be really, really hurting because the internet doesn't forget. The internet keeps receipts, and when you're someone that, and I think the average viewer, the majority of our viewers, the average viewer, they're discerning. And I understand the difference between someone that says, I think City might win the league over Arsenal this year versus somebody that runs an agenda against Arsenal. They can tell the difference in the way you talk, your tone of voice, the way you praise one team and criticize another. And you are going to get cooked now. And that's why you're going to see a lot of certain Chelsea fans, certain City fans, even certain Arsenal fans are going to take a little bit of a hiatus and they're going to disappear for a few weeks because they are just going to get absolutely, and they didn't need it to be. And so you're going to see their anger come out. And it will be gifted this and gifted that. And by the way, they're saying 3 weeks' time you're the champions because City lose to Chelsea, you beat them, say you're champions. Then the narrative will move on to, well, this. And this is why Arsenal fans have got to learn to enjoy. You know, if you watch my stuff I do, like Killing the Game, most of it is laughing at what people say and kind of enjoying it. It's only really the pundits I go in on now because I look at it and go, you lot are then it's going to be moved and go, yo, all right, he's won the league. Can he retain it though? That will show if he's really a great. The goalpost will just be moved. So I think what you've got to learn to do is just enjoy knowing that their piss is being boiled. Like that would be my view on it as if I was an Arsenal fan, if this was my club, Man United, because they're never going to change because this angers it. You might get a handful of people that go, do you know what? I had a bit of an agenda. I didn't believe, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. And I go, fair enough. They prove me wrong and they become normal with it and you'll see a different them. For other people, they're too arrogant, they're too egotistical. It's going to go to another level now. Does that make sense? It's never. I mean, KJ had this conversation with United when Ollie got sacked. Oh, thank God the Ollie inners and the Ollie outers, it's all gone. So no, it isn't. It's just going to move on to the next conversation, to the next topic. And you fast forward 6 years, still here. It hasn't gone. So brace yourselves for that. But outside of that, how are you both feeling right now from a Arsenal fans' perspective? Big win for you, 2 goals in the last 6 minutes, and then West Ham do you a massive favour and hold City to a draw.
Who wants to go first? Seb, you want to go first?
You go, Anton, because you went on a match reaction earlier, so I'll let you go first.
I've been awake since 2:30 a.m. this morning. I've been out with loads of Arsenal fans at the pub, met Theo Walcott today, saw was of the Premier League trophy, watched Arsenal's 16-year-old prodigy literally win us the Premier League, and then watched Man City go up 1-0 only for them to concede straight away and not be able to break down West Ham. And I'm going to try to hold myself back as much as possible because it's not mathematically done, but I have so many, I told you so's. I mean, I remember when I came on to, on Six-Sided, this was right after we took over in the season. And I said, and everyone goes, Negative Dan on there as well. And I love my brother, Negative Dan, and he's going to be just as happy. He's not going to give a shit. But they were like, no, Anton, don't do it. I'm like, no, I am. We are never dropping off first for the rest of the season. I told you all in October, this Arsenal team was winning the Premier League. And everybody, even in our worst periods, kept calling Anton deluded. You're so deluded. You're so delusional. Oh, you're never going to win. You guys are only going to bottle it. Blah, 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 blah. Look where we are right now. And I love the chaos. Terry's right. And by the way, big ups to both of you two at the top, because honestly, you guys have been amazing, and you kind of changed my life, and I imagine Seb the same. But the way you have been the whole year, Terry especially with the tinfoil hat, backing up this club against all the haters, and you didn't have to. You're a Man United fan. You could have easily just enjoyed the moments where we were struggling, or easily tried to derail it, because you don't have to. But I want to thank you so much, because you've actually done a real great service, I think, to the world of football and to our fan base for how you've been the whole year. All the killing the game videos, everything. It's been tremendous. And yeah, it feels amazing to answer your question. It feels like it's coming home. It's been so many years. Like the last time we won the Premier League was in 2004. That is 22 years ago. I'm now about to turn, in a couple of days, 34 years old. I was 12. Like, it's gonna be a party. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'll save more of the I told you so specifically for when the day comes where it's official. And I'll save the big double F chest for then. But until now, for now, man, I'm fucking over the moon. And yeah, I was with the Premier League trophy today, and it was surreal.
Yeah, I saw that. Look, from my point of view, I appreciate the thanks, but it's only what we've been doing for all the good teams. When I remember when Liverpool, still the biggest ever live stream we ever did was when Liverpool came back against Barcelona, and we went live. And again, I didn't spend any time on that being a bit of bastard. I just spoke about how good it was, because that was the point of the Football Terrace. I saw that all the other YouTube channels at the time were club specific, the same as we used to be. We were at Man United channel, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't like the conversations I'd have on them or listen on them about other teams. It always felt shrouded in bitterness and nonsense, and it felt like I was 10 years old back in the primary school playground. And I just, as a man who was in his 30s, I was early 30s, I went, oh, this is just dry and boring. And a lot of my friends who I still watch football with were like, mate, it's a bit childish. And I'm like, no, I agree. So we started the Football Terrace, and of course, people like Hamza come in here and say stuff that's mad, but you're free to come in here and say what you want on a footballing level. The only rule I actually have on the terrace, the only people I don't let on, the only people I gatekeep against, and KJ, I tell you this, it's not about agreeing or disagreeing with me. It's about respecting the platform. So if you disrespect the Football Terrace, I don't have you on. You can say I'm wrong about everything. I'll let you come on my shows. I don't care. But you don't need to thank me. It's what we do. When teams are good, we praise them. When teams are bad, we criticize them. When teams do well, we say well done. It's as simple as that. And I think it's funny because I've seen 2 or 3 of the big trolls on X in the last 2 days do these big announcements that they're no longer going to be trolls.
Yeah, Mod, the Chelsea guy.
Doing it. I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, listen, you're about 5-6 years too late, but I do think it's the way content's going to go. I think you're going to see less and less trolls, less and less dishonesty, less and less people saying stuff for clicks, because I think everyone's getting bored of it. And the reason they're getting bored of it now is because even when people are honest given a negative thing to say. They're just accused of being a troll because everybody, including Roy Keane, including Jamie Carragher, including John Obi Mikel, they've all just gone down the fucking trolling level. Thank God. I mean, Wayne Rooney's not the best pundit in the world, but at least he's really honest. And I like it. And I think we need more of that in this space now. People like me pioneered this industry. When everyone said that we'd never get more than 5,000 subs, Robbie, one of the biggest pioneers, YouTube told him that they'd never have more than 50,000 subscribers on AFTV. And it's all started by having honest conversations. And I do think the industry has been hijacked by the TikTok generation that just want to say something extreme for 30 seconds and get attention through it. And we need less and less of that. So I appreciate the thanks, but we do it for everybody. It isn't just for Arsenal, but appreciate you enjoying it here.
Yeah. Well, one more thing before Seb heads in there, Terry. A moment of silence for Lee Gunner and the Arteta out brigade, because that's it for you guys now. You guys might as well get on the bandwagon or just choose a different club.
Well, that's the thing, though. They get to be on the bandwagon. So, yeah, they
They'll be
get
at the party.
to enjoy. Yeah, they'll be at the party. So I don't think they'll care, unfortunately. Seb, my boy, is it your time? Is it your year finally?
I feel like it. I've always been less boisterous than Anton, although we tend to agree on a lot of things, but he just tends to word them a bit more passionately than me. But yeah, I think it is. I think it's done. But I've always gone off the basis of I think it's just City aren't good enough. I think Pep in several games has just done the wrong decisions. Like benching Cherky for me is just a bit odd today. But our squad's come to save us. The amount of we got the most goals from substitutes in the league, so it's just like we're using them properly. Even today, I think the starting 11 was a bit unbalanced. Particularly with, I think, well, Kai Havertz did okay. He should have got a penalty earlier in the game. But it's just all year I've been saying that even after losses, I've tried not to lose my head. I've tried to be calm as possible. And it's come to fruition. Well, not yet. I'll touch the table, touch wood. But yeah, it looks like it's all coming in. And because Arsenal's never been in this position ever. Like in anyone's lifetime, we've never been in a position where we may win a quadruple. I still don't think, I said on Anton's channel the other day, I don't think we will, not to dampen the mood, but I can't see it. But just to win the Premier League, I was 6 years old when we won the league last time, so I don't particularly remember it that well. But it's just to see it get over the line. Like before the season have started, if you'd have asked me, do you want the league or the Champions League, I'd have said the Champions League. But the fact that we're here now, I couldn't believe it, or I wouldn't want to feel letting it go again. Where it's been 3-4 years in a row. So it's finally good to get over the line. I don't want to hear anyone be saying, well, because the Arteta out was going to be, well, it's taken him 6 years to win the league. He should have done it in 4 years with manager.
No, let's say, Seb. No, let's say
that will be it. And I'll be like, well, sod off, mate. Sod off. Honestly, I don't care
Seb,
what you
say. You'll be like, see, my standards got him to that point. I told these guys what to do. I told them to sign these players.
Yeah.
I told them to coach
me saying he should have been sacked after the Wolves draw is a reason that we've won the league.
They'll find a way to make it about them winning. They are the reason why. But yeah, no, I just want to say, like, this must be one of the most, it's going to sound harsh, right? But let me land. This must be one of the most miserable wins for a team to win the league in terms of the amount of pressure, the amount of people on your back, the amount of just even with your own fan base infighting when you guys are on top of the league. I'm hoping now that when you guys go on and win the league, everyone can release the energy, everyone can enjoy the moment, and going forward, you can enjoy a title race. Because I have not seen you guys really. Anton and Seb, I think you guys have, but I haven't seen the whole fan base enjoy the title race fully.
KJ's right. I think there's been times, again, as outsiders looking in, we go live after every game, and we've got a great Arsenal community. We've got great communities outside of Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. We've got great communities on the terrace from those clubs. But every time you guys have a setback, it's sort of. You feel a tension like I see with no other club when you're very good, if that makes sense. And what I'm intrigued to see going into next season, you've still got to win the league, and I'm not getting ahead of myself, is when you have a setback. For instance, Brandon's a great example, right? And Brandon loves his club. Different to you, loves his club. Every time and I've seen there's a couple of guys on AFTV because I watch a lot of AFTV stuff still. Every time you have a draw, it's, I think this is a sign we're not going to win the league. What I'm intrigued to see is whether next year there isn't so much panic so easily from people. Does that make sense? People disappearing. People going, it's done. What do you mean it's done? There were people writing off you guys winning the league 4 games, 5 games into the season. But I think that stems from 22 years of not winning it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's 100%. It is 100%. When you do it, that's why it's always like City are going to win league, because it's just the last few years it has just been they've won 14 games in a row and they've won it. Whereas this year the shoe's been on the foot. They've been chasing us and they've never been able to catch up with us at all. But yeah, next season will be far more relaxed because there isn't that pressure of going, it's 23 years since we've won it. I think we win the league this year. That will relieve it a lot. It will obviously be, even if we lose the league next year, if we've won it this year, then it's not going to be that much of a disappointment as long as we win other trophies. I don't think it would have been that stressful if in the last 5 years we'd at least been picking up a couple of more. I think people would have been a bit more relaxed. But even the nature today, if you could pick a way to win a game of football, if you could have gone before the game, it's like we'll score 40th and 60th minute, cruise out the game. But just to win in the nature that we did, it's just you can't beat it.
By the way, my man, who I've backed up here every week, even when everyone is calling him crap and writing him off, fucking scored the goal that won us the Premier League.
Yeah, Gyökeres, but I'm talking about more of it. Listen, my biggest dream is to win a Premier League and have someone like a Dowman for my. If JJ Gabriel found a way to win us the Premier League, that makes this Premier League feel like just a little bit different. You guys having Max Dowman score that goal for you guys.
Well, we had that with Cobby. When Cobby scored that winning goal, and it's smaller than the Premier League, but when Cobby scored that winning goal against Man City, for me personally, it just felt like a different level of happiness because, Garnacho also scored, but like 2 academy players.
We had Lingard as well against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Lingard, it feels great. But yeah, you sort of had it was almost sort of, and I hope for your sake and England's sake, especially that Max Dowman doesn't go the same way, but it was almost like your Kiko Makeda moment that we had in the 09 season where just sort of, I think it was the 09 season, where you just think, Jesus Christ, like out of nowhere. But so we do the super chats, KJ.
Yeah, listen, we have got 22 before we get out here. So yeah, thank you for everyone who's super chatted, by the way. We appreciate you guys so much for that, and everyone who's came on the show. Hamza, we still love you on the terrace. You're always welcome. Just the rules. Just don't come with that foolishness, bro. You know what it is. First one, it says Hamza is with me, broadcaster control. Hamza, this has got to be a bit as in like a joke. No, that is Hamza. That is what he's like. This is him. So Hamza, what you're saying is 115 can't handle pressure. They clearly can't, especially at 8 o'clock. V here says bold fraudster. You and your plastic club is disappearing. Hamza getting it tonight, and rightly so. AMG Gunner says excuse number 29. The players broke their fast before the game. That's a good one, actually. I like that one. Mentality Monster's scared of the TV audience. Listen, I've never heard of anything like that in my life. Hamza is goated. Dr. Delusional broke what's colder, the weather or Haaland.
My favorite was when he was saying that going to Bodo Glimt was impossible. Haaland couldn't deliver in the country he's from.
Oh, man. He's a wonderful man. I love Hamza.
He's funny, though, to be fair. I love it.
He is funny. I
love this meltdown. I'm crying. This made my Saturday. I'm crying at work. And listen, Kellam Hamza's meltdown is fed me life. We could lose tomorrow. I can just remember that, and I'll be happy. Working brain, you lost there, Hamza. Or Hamza, yeah. Sorry, my brain's not working right now either. City have won 5 out of 12 league games since the 1st of Jan. Yo, that is a damning.
The scary Sharks. 5 of 12.
That is crazy. Hamza, hold that. We're gonna win the league at your ground. Listen, I think Hamza might quit. Or 2 things will happen. Hamza quits content creation, if that happens, or the truth finally comes out. He whacks out his Arsenal top and starts celebrating on the pitch.
I can't, after seeing the way he reacted today, I can't believe that. Unless he feels so bad that he he left the Arsenal fan base only to see them win years later. Maybe, I don't know, but I can't believe it.
Yeah, listen, hey, look, Hamza is upset. He just tossed all his Arsenal jerseys. I told you, that's what's going on. You're right. The winning mentality didn't get their paid trip to the Middle East this year. That is true. Hamza, Rice got denied a pen today versus Everton. Was it Rice or was it Calafiori?
It was Havertz. Havertz got taken down in the box.
Havertz, yeah. Here we go. KJ, Arsenal lead Chelsea in 05 game week 7 by 2 points. Invisible game week 9. Okay, cool. That is, listen, being on top for so as long as Arsenal have been and Chelsea and these guys have been before is incredible stuff. I appreciate that as a football fan. It's because everyone's laughing at Arsenal for years to distract them from their clubs. Now they can't. We are not the banter club anymore. Get over it. Come on, you gooners. I think that's true as well. Now fans have to actually look at their own team and be like, this sucks. You know what I mean? Look at Spurs. They've had all these years trying to banter you guys over small things like winning trophies, which they've barely done themselves.
Everything is coming to roost.
And now they're about to get relegated.
You know what's beautiful though? Watching Newcastle's final whistle go off at the same time as ours, and the fan base for some weird reason has been the most obsessed with us, even though they have their own problems. Has been Chelsea. To watch them lose at the same time as Max Dalman's goal goes in, it's simultaneously. Oh, it's fucking sweet.
Yeah, and listen, football is a beautiful, poetic game.
Football isn't. You know what? It's not been a lot of the Chelsea fans who come on our shows. To be fair, Quest and Kojo, and Jesse, Winter Surfer, David, etc. But we didn't get a chance to this Saturday. But I really want to sit down on next Friday and have a really good conversation with Don, because I remember him getting really funny with me over the suggestion that Arsenal might finish 10 to 12 points ahead of Chelsea. It currently sits at 22 points. And I just want to, I want to reassess how far he thinks the gap is, just at a general view. Because, by the way, and that's not just because it's Arsenal-Chelsea, it's the team that's now top of the league. And it's always important when you want to win the league to assess yourself against them, because that's been one of the biggest shocks for me this season, how far Chelsea are off Arsenal. I thought they'd be quite close until the last 5-6 games. And then there'd be I think it's between 9 and 12 points. The fact it sits at 22 points, crazy.
Yeah. It's respect to Winter Surfer on that, because he comes after every show and he's been saying for such a long time about what was going to happen. And unfortunately for him, he's been right, but he always turns up. So
our Chelsea fans are pretty consistent when they're available. So big up to our Chelsea community on the Football Terrace. The excuses spewing from this tool. Shut up, you fraud. That's named Hamza. Hey, our guy, man like Pastor Bryant, he says this season is such a weird one. Credit to Arsenal, find a way to keep getting results while everyone around them continue to lack answers. Glory, Man United. Big up the Terrace. The KJ derby is tomorrow. Yes, the Man United do play Aston Villa tomorrow, and I'm from Birmingham, and I have a soft spot for Villa because I live close to them. So yes, hopefully Man United smash Villa so we can go above them. And we can stop stressing about top
Sounds
5.
weird, but I second that. I've been saying you guys finished third all year, and I was saying that Aston Villa or Mirage. So
listen, where Cal, I know you're out there. I hope you're good. I know you've taken a break from this all, but you was right all along because from pre-season he said top 4 for Man United. Amarim made him lose his mind, and then he threw it out the window, bro.
He promised me. I just was speaking to him about While Hamza was going on his rant, he said when Arsenal win the league, he'll come back at least for one show.
You know what's really hard with social media content, and when people are new to it, they don't always see it this way. And I don't even have the viewers think about it like this, but it's what happens. It's the whole journey. And sometimes there are certain content creators that why bring up the past for? Sometimes you've got to bring up the past to talk about where you're at now. I used to think this. This is why my mind changed. Do you remember when you said that? What changed your mind about it? But the reason I bring it up quite a lot is the season in itself is a journey. What you predicted, and then how things end up. Did you change your mind? Did you address why you got it wrong? What do you think happened? And no one's right about everything. And my one message to content creators is: don't worry about being right and wrong, because we're on the outside and we have limited information to go on. And Cal got the Man United stuff. It looks like he got it right. But I remember after a few bad results, it was like, oh no, I'm going to kind of take it back. And I remember saying to him a few times, just like, don't. I don't think you should as of right now. And yeah, no, it happens, man. But you got to just ride it out because there's going to be some weeks where you get cooked. You know, there's only 3 games ago you lot drew with Wolves.
That's why we're here every single week.
Yeah. And I remember people coming at me. I haven't seen the Blue Worm tonight. The Blue Worm's not been in the chat. Terry, Arsenal are done. And then it was a bad night. Oh, Blue Viper. I called the Blue Worm. Yeah, and it's like Maradon's not here either. But I'm sitting there like, I'm going to criticize Arsenal tonight, but the way everybody wanted me to go in, it's all over. It's done. Equally, every time City slipped up, I weren't sitting there going, Arsenal are clear. It's impossible for City to win. It's about being honest. But what I will say, for the first time this season, is Arsenal are now the clear favourites. It's not marginal anymore. They are clear favourites to win the league from this point. And it would be a massive shock to not seal it from this point now. I think that's such an advantage. And I do think Arsenal, I'm 90% sure, go on to win it from this point now. So 10 points with 8 games to go is a huge gap. Especially
not even that. We've got 7.
Yeah, you've got 7 to go. But it's also what was also said before the game. Pep said before the game, if we don't win tonight, the league title's over. Similar to what they said before the Liverpool game. I feel like City's players and manager are ready to throw the towel in. And that's not, by the way, that's not a dig at Arsenal saying, oh, you've been gifted it. You're making it's like, it's different. It's like, you ever watch a boxing fight where a guy's getting so badly jabbed in the face that he's calling to throw the towel in? That's what's happens here. They're quitting on their stall. In some regards, that's better than a knockout. If you get where I'm coming from, it's like
it was dead by 1,000 cuts.
I don't think Pep meant it when he was like, "Oh, the title," because he's done his post-match interview and he said the title race is still on. So he's just a little wind-up merchant. That's what that man is.
Maybe. Pep does love to gas up his opponents and then destroy them 5-0 and be like, I think they're still a good team. And he's a Pep shot, man. You know we think we're trash. We got a comment here, KJ. You got balls, man. Respect. And then also big up KJ for not providing a medium to.
Oh, this is after you kicked,
yes. Listen, we love Hamza here. Hamza's one of our friends of the terrace and always will be. There's sometimes we need to start kicking people from chat for foolishness. He'll be back on, so he'll be back on when he's ready. When he's, you know what I mean. So don't worry about that. But yeah, we love Hamza, but it's just one of those moments there. Mo, it's about Arsenal. It's about Arsenal because we're the banter club. The more for more than a decade and a half now. Now it may possibly end. Come on, you gooners. Hey, listen, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. Hamza is Man City's tie from AFTV. Nah, they're 2 completely different entities, man. Like Ty is Ty, and Hamza is definitely Hamza. So
they're different.
4 years getting close, 4 years of PTSD. Yeah, I understand that. I understand why that makes you guys maybe not feel as joyful as it used to be. But hopefully next year, if you guys are in a title race again, you can fully enjoy it this time without stressing every 2 seconds. And then also last super chat is how do City even approach the home game? I think that's against Man City. I mean against Real Madrid. The way they address it is lock up shop, try and hit them on the break because that's what their players are good at, and see if you can mount a comeback. But I don't think they will. Guys, it's been a wonderful time on the Football Terrace. We did not expect to be here this long at all. Well done to West Ham for getting a draw. I just want to say thank you for everyone who super chatted, everyone who commented, all the members who signed up today. We appreciate you guys so much. Make sure that you guys are, if you're not a member already, make sure you sign up for membership because we're planning some really, really cool things. Thank you to all our contributors today. You had Seb and Anton, you had Kel, Hamza, Mo came on as well. That was it, innit? And I've said, this Terry guy with the tinfoil hat. But yes, if you guys haven't already, please like the stream, share this out to all the people who haven't watched it yet because this was prime City meltdown content. So if anyone's not seen it yet, make sure they do. And also subscribe to the Football Terrace because we're on the road to 500k, people. We're almost there. We just need a little push from you guys. So make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're sharing out the channel to everyone who hasn't seen us before. Until next time, people. Make sure you have a wonderful evening. Well done, West Ham. Arsenal fans are buzzing. And Man City, this is what it feels like to be average. So yeah, enjoy that. Until next time.